The year is 2025, the world is a more chaotic place, and apparently so is the US government's group chat. Recent events have exposed a shocking lapse in judgment by top US intelligence officials. They allegedly used the encrypted messaging app Signal to discuss sensitive military operations. This revelation has sent shockwaves through Washington and beyond, raising serious questions about national security and government transparency. The incident came to light when journalist Jeffrey Goldberg was accidentally added to a Signal group chat. This wasn't just any group chat, it included high-ranking officials like Vice President Vance and Defense Secretary Hegseth. The group's name? Houthi PC Small Group. Subtle. The chat reportedly contained discussions about planned military strikes in Yemen. Not exactly the kind of information you want falling into the wrong hands. The leak exposed operational details including targets and weapons. This incident is deeply troubling for a number of reasons. First, it suggests a blatant disregard for basic security protocols. Discussing war plans on an unsecure platform, even one with end-to-end encryption like Signal, is reckless. Second, it raises concerns about the judgment and competence of those entrusted with our national security. How could such a careless mistake occur at the highest levels of government? The Signal leak has exposed a dangerous disconnect between the government's rhetoric on national security and its actions. It's time for some serious answers. The Pentagon, faced with mounting criticism, has scrambled to contain the fallout from the Signal leak. Their response has been a masterclass in damage control, heavy on denial and light on accountability. Intelligence chiefs, including DNI Tulsi Gabbard, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, and FBI Director Kash Patel, were summoned for a House hearing. Under oath, they denied that classified information was shared outside official channels. Defense Secretary Hegseth, in particular, insisted that no war plans were ever texted. However, the Pentagon's denials ring hollow in the face of mounting evidence. The leaked messages, according to sources familiar with the investigation, clearly discussed sensitive military operations. The fact that the Pentagon issued a warning about Signal's vulnerabilities to Russian hacking just days before the leak only adds to the suspicion. It's almost as if they knew they were playing with fire. The timing is just too coincidental. The Pentagon's attempts to downplay the incident are insulting to the public's intelligence. The American people deserve to know the truth about what transpired in that Signal group chat. Was it a harmless oversight as the Pentagon claims, or did it involve the reckless handling of classified information? The lack of transparency from the Pentagon only deepens the sense that something is amiss. This isn't just about a messaging app, it's about accountability, responsibility, and the public's right to know. The public reaction to the Signal leak has been swift and furious. Americans are understandably outraged that their top intelligence officials would be so careless with sensitive information. Social media erupted with condemnations of the government's incompetence and secrecy. The hashtag #SignalFail trended for days, reflecting the public's anger and frustration. Security experts, meanwhile, are aghast at the sheer recklessness displayed by those involved. Using a consumer app like Signal, even one with end-to-end encryption, to discuss war plans is practically unheard of. Such sensitive discussions are typically confined to secure environments like the Situation Room, where communications are closely monitored and protected. The incident highlights a dangerous trend of government officials prioritizing convenience over security. In today's digital age, it's tempting to rely on readily available tools like Signal. However, when it comes to matters of national security, there's simply no substitute for established protocols and secure communication channels. This incident has shaken the public's trust in the government's ability to protect sensitive information. The lack of transparency and accountability from those in power only exacerbates the problem. The Signal leak has reignited the debate over encryption and national security. On the one hand, encrypted communication tools like Signal play a vital role in protecting privacy and freedom of speech. They allow journalists, activists, and ordinary citizens to communicate securely without fear of surveillance. On the other hand, the same encryption that protects the innocent can also be exploited by criminals and terrorists to shield their activities from law enforcement. The challenge for policymakers is to find a balance between these competing interests. How do we ensure that law enforcement agencies have the tools they need to investigate crime and terrorism without undermining the privacy and security of law-abiding citizens? There's no easy answer. It requires a nuanced approach that respects both the need for security and the importance of civil liberties. The Signal leak is a stark reminder that even the most secure communication tools are only as good as the people using them. Ultimately, the responsibility for protecting sensitive information lies with those who have access to it. This incident should serve as a wake-up call for governments around the world. It's time to reevaluate security protocols, strengthen oversight mechanisms, and ensure that those entrusted with sensitive information are held accountable for their actions. The future of our security and our trust in government may depend on it.